the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City of Romulus City Council meeting for Monday, May 22nd, 2017. We amended the agenda this evening to add two first readings of an ordinance and one repeal of an ordinance. And roll call vote first, I'm sorry. Everyone is here with the exception of Councilwoman Choate and Councilwoman Mikowski.
You're excused.
You. Number 1 is the amended agenda. 2, minutes. 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6A is the clerk's report. 6B is the treasurer's report. 7 is public comment. 8 is unfinished business. 9, new business. 10, communication. 11 is warrant 17-10, and 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Abdo. This is to approve the agenda as presented, amended agenda. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Agenda approved.
2A is approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held May 8th, 2017.
So moved for May 8th, 2017.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo. This is for the approval of the minutes from our regular council meeting, which was held May 8th, 2017. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
3A is petitioner, and we have a petitioner this evening, Michael Link of 12072 Schultz Street. He's requesting a no-fee permit for a block party on Saturday, August 19th, from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. Is Mr. Link in the audience this evening?
Would you come to the podium, please?
Evening.
Speak right.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
We actually have a block party, as mentioned in petition. It's just to be a fellowship with the community, of decent music and food. It's all free to the community to come in and just have a good time. Any questions?
Through the chair.
Yes, Mr. Abdo.
Yes. Have all the people on that street been notified of this block party?
I'm sure Mike has talked to them, yes.
And are they all agreeing with this block party?
We can get a signed petition if you'd like.
I'd feel more comfortable knowing that they are all on board.
Sure.
You know,
We can do that.
so that we don't have any disgruntled neighbors coming in.
Exactly. We don't want anyone to be upset.
No, we don't.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Can I have the same feelings as Mrs. Abdul does also? You know, we can give you barricades, but to totally shut down the road from any vehicle traffic is sometimes hard.
We don't want to do that either.
We can give you something local, you know, vehicles only, and when you talk about music, I mean, you can't be there blaring out, so, 4 or 5 streets over.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be that low.
I intend to attend, but
Oh, yeah, we would.
I don't want to be part of the problem.
Right.
Where are you going to have it? In the middle of the street, or?
It'll probably be in his driveway.
Okay.
It's just so no one gets hit. We don't want anyone to, and he lives on south of Grant.
I know where
I'm
it is.
sure you-
I
I'm
know
sure you-
exactly where it is. But
just
I
so-
think I'd feel better with Mrs. Abdul if you came back maybe to the next meeting with signatures from the ones that live on the street.
Sure.
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
So would it be proper to delay action on this till he comes back with signatures so that everybody knows what's going on? And
We could
especially
table it.
table it till then? Do you feel comfortable with that?
Sure. Sure, no problem.
Okay, how the other council feel?
That'll work.
It'll work? Eric? Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
I'll move that we table the item until he returns.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, to table until the next meeting. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk Barbara. Tonight, we had 2 meetings, 2 study sessions. The first one was at 6:30 p.m., and this was to 2 ordinance amendments and 1 ordinance repeal. At 7 p.m., we had a study session with our treasurer, Stacy Page, for our city investment quarterly report. At this time, I'm going to recognize, the chair is going to recognize Councilwoman Roscoe.
Good evening.
Thank
I
you.
have a couple memorials to ask for resolutions. And the first one I'm going to ask for is for Gerald Keith Whitehill. He was born on February 21st, 1940, and he passed away this past week on May 17th, 2017. Keith was 77 years old. He is also a veteran of the U.S. Army. He is Private First Class, 2nd Armored Division, from November 58 until November of 1960. He leaves behind his wife Marilyn, his 4 children, Clifford, Tracy, Jody, and Keith, 7 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, and he's going to be greatly missed by many of his family members and friends. And Keith was just an overall great guy.
Okay, it's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, for memorial resolution for Mr. Whitehill. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Barton, if I could just make a quick comment about Mr. Whitehill. He was my neighbor around the corner from me for 38 years, and I knew his wife, who was a bus driver, and Mr. Whitehill was a very nice individual. God bless him.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Okay, it was Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and motion is approved.
I have another one. My second one is for Ken Schote, Kenneth Lonnie Schote, who is the husband of Linda Schote, our councilwoman here.
I'll support it.
Ken was born on September 25th, 1937, and he passed away this past week also on May 18th, 2017. He had his funeral today, and he was buried out here at the Romulus Cemetery. Ken came to Romulus in the early 60s with his wife Linda. He had 2 children, Rich, his son, and Suzanne, who passed away about 10 years ago. He has 6 grandchildren and 15 great-grandchildren, and he loved to golf and read, and Ken was just, I don't think I've ever heard him say a bad word. He was always so mild and meek and stern at the same time, but he will be greatly missed by all his family and many, many friends.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Mr. Barton, if I could expand on that. You know, during my 50 years of being in this town, there's a handful of people that you remember, and in politics and out of politics, but I first met Ken back in about 1973, 74. I had business here with Linda working when she was a deputy clerk from the sheriff's department. And one time in a parking lot, she called me over and introduced me to Ken. And from that point on, for the last 42 or 43 years, we would stop and talk. Ken was a truck driver, and I was a cop, and he'd always ask me questions about trucks doing this, and can they do this? Can they give me a ticket? And I'd give him some type of answers. He didn't. Sometimes he liked them, sometimes he didn't. But I remember when I first got involved in politics, and Ken called me up and he told me, "I want you to bring me a lawn sign." And I went to his house and I put it in the lawn. He said, "Oh, you can't put it there, Bill. That's Linda's part of the lawn. You got to put it on my half of the lawn." So I picked it up and I put it on the other half of the lawn. And for the next many years, it kind of became a joke. He said, "You know, I can't put nothing on Linda's lawn, but You know, I mean, talk about a good man, talk about a man that loved his wife and his kids, and he actually loved his job. He liked driving a truck. He used to go to Chicago and back every day, or five days a week. And he was just a good human being, and he'll be missed.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Any other? I would like to say kudos to everything that was said tonight. Ken was a great person in the community, gave a lot to the community, him and his wife. So, as Mr. Wadsworth and everyone said, the family will have in your prayers, and Ken will be missed. Okay.
Leroy, you gonna? Oh, all right.
And next, I would like to Chair recognize Ms. Abdo.
On a more positive note, I would like to wish Mary Ann Risner happy 89th birthday. That'll be Wednesday is her birthday. She's a lifetime resident of Romulus, a lifetime member of St. Aloysius. She was a lunch mom at St. Al's. She donated a lot of time helping with her Meals on Wheels. She's been very integral in this community. So if you see Mary Ann, probably at the rack, walking the track, give her a hug and tell her happy birthday on Wednesday.
Thank you, Ms. Abdo. Councilman Kraut.
Oh, thank you. I want to wish Kathy Johnson a happy birthday. And Kathy is our camera woman. And happy birthday, Kathy.
All right, Kathy. Mr. Wadsworth.
John, if I could, like Mrs. Abdo said, on a more upscale note, on last Friday, on May the 12th, we held the Bowl-a-thon, and this was the best one ever, and we raised we raised $3,602, which is all given to the animal shelter. I'll do this as fast as I can, and before I forget, like last year, Mrs. Abdu and her husband Mike were there, and they sold baskets, and they did one heck of a job.
Thank you.
I didn't forget your name this year. Okay, other than that, I've got to thank Mayor Burkhoff that paid for the pizza. I got to thank Walter's Bar, Romulus Lanes, Sylvia Parecki, Stephanie, Rob, Matt, Amanda, and Ashley Waggle, the Frank Ayers family, Joe Uzuk, R.J. Roden from Metro Realty, Doug O'Leary from the Romulus Auto Supply, Puff and Fluff, the Romulus House, Dave's the Barbershop, Jim's Poet, Marcus McNamara from the City Engineers, Mr. and Mrs. Ray Ricky. These folks all donated prizes that we gave away. And the Friends of the Romulus Animal Shelter, Ray and Annie, Nancy and David Paul, J&M Towing, Jets Pizza, Burger King, which is John Delincic, who's been there every year since I started, Blue Sky Ice Cream, our clerk, Mrs. Bragg, Councilwoman Abdo, and her husband Mike, Jake's Truck and Auto, who's also been a big supporter of this and the bingo event. Mark Lukowitz from the Landis Shop, Stacy Page, Frank Audie from Plant Moran, Captain Darrell Shelby from the Romulus PD, Romulus Rotary, Romulus Newspaper, the Romulus Cable Company, Kevin Dotson from Taylor Chevrolet, Camping World of Belleville, Keith Johnson, Dr. John Herman, Betsy and the Romulus Chamber of Commerce, Steve Hitchcock, the city attorneys, Nick at the E-Course Marketplace along with Tim Hortons, Michael Kaspirik from Raymark Asphalt, Celeste was there, I appreciate that. She brought a basket, St. Aloysius Church, Julie Toko, Bob McCrae, Roberto Scappuccini, Kathy Ritter, Elaine and Samantha McCall, Jasmine Dancy, the Romulus Fire Department, and Puff and Fluff the dog, whatever the dog's name was, John Thies, Sue and Jeff Cortlett, Lynn and Kathy, the cable people, Roger, outdoor experts, Lynn Conway, Maria Lambert, who helps me all the time. She couldn't do enough for me, Fairlane Ford, and Rose in the senior place, and also Judge Green and Al Hinman from the 34th Court. Sylvia was there, Mr. Barden was there, and if I missed anybody, call me and I'll bring it up next week. Oh yeah, Kathy Freitag did a little bit too. She sat right next to me all night. I forgot it. Kathy Freitag. Anybody else, Mrs. Abdul?
So I can think
Okay, and again, thank you. Everything that we raise, and we just passed.
Lynn's ears.
Lynn.
She sold 50/50.
Lynn, okay, thank you, Lynn. We've just passed, since we began this, $250,000 has been donated, which is, we just crossed this mark of $250,000 has been donated to the shelter since we started this back in 2003 or 4, and I thank everybody. And I want to thank not only all these elected officials, the past elected officials that have been here and served and have helped on this cause. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. Again, the chair gonna recognize again, Councilwoman Abdo.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to mention a program that we have at Romulus High School, which is a wonderful program. We are one of the few high schools in this area that has a college advisor. Basically, that person is responsible for helping our seniors get into college. They help with the FAFSA form, they help with the applications. And I am really excited to announce that we have a former Romulus student and a Romulus resident who has been chosen to be the college advisor for the next 2 years. Andriana Barden, you want to come up? I have a few things to say about you. Andriana is the definition of a true Romulus resident. She was part of the Romulus educational system since kindergarten, graduating from Romulus High School in 2012, where she was a part of the marching band, she was on the cheer team, as well as National Honor Society, having a GPA and maintaining a GPA of a 3.5. That's pretty hard to do. She went on to obtain a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology at Michigan State University, graduating May 6, 2017. Just a week before graduating, Ms. Barden received a call offering her the position as a college advisor at Romulus High School, where she will be in charge of the post-graduation plans of high school graduating seniors. And I think if you recall, recently, last couple of years, we had 2 seniors receive the Gates Millennium Scholarship, which was a direct result of the college advisor and all the work that college advisor put into them. Whether it's aiding FAFSA scholarships, college applications, college visits, the military, as well as trade schools, her dream as a little girl was coming back to help mold the children who were from the same city she believed in. She plans on making a difference in the lives of the students of Romulus High School, not only as an advisor, but as an example, and we are really blessed to have you back.
Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Andriana Barden, and I'm really honored to have this opportunity to make a difference in the lives of students who sat in the desk I once sat in. I decided to come back to Romulus because students can use me as an example. They see I lived in the same city they lived in, as well as graduated where they are going to graduate from. My dream and passion has always been to give back to the community and help those who want to help themselves. I believe that they have the opportunity that I had, and I'm going to show them and push them, and they'll be the best possible selves that they can be. I'm glad I get a chance to give back to the community, and I'm looking forward to working with the class of 2018.
Thank you.
Thank you, granddaughter.
You know it.
Wish you all success. Thank you. With that, that concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll ask for a motion to accept your report.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Yes. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved, and thank you.
5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, City Council, Treasurer, Deputy Clerk, and audience. Tonight, Mr. Chairman, rather than a quote in lieu of Ken Choate passing, and he was also a past member of our police, fire, and safety, could we just have a moment of silence at his name? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Not only did we lose a great guy with Ken, but, you know, we usually give shout outs for birthdays, and, you know, really my heart's broken for Linda. Saturday was her birthday. So she lost her husband. Here she's making funeral arrangements on her birthday. I know she did tell me that she had some cake and ice cream with her grandkids. So tough day for her today, but keep her family in your thoughts and prayers as she's dealing with this loss. Ken was a great guy. When I talked to her at the funeral home yesterday, we talked about really just, and today at the funeral, what a gentleman, and Slush, you kind of mentioned it, just, quiet spoken guy, but just a gentleman, always had good words, and, that's rare nowadays, so keep her in her thoughts and prayers, and hope she gets back soon. A lot going on tonight. We do have a live report, so Dennis, will you please come up and hit some of the highlights of some of our events?
Thank you, Mayor. Quick thing about Ken Choate. In 1980, we formed the Wednesday night Romulus Men's Golf League. And in fact, we have inaugurated our 38th season of that league. And one of our members was Ken Choate, and his partner was Bill Simons. So from Bill Mars Market. So I thought that was quite appropriate. Linda told me that sometimes people confuse the two because they kind of looked alike. Coming up, starting off our summer season, of course, is Memorial Day, but we're going to start off on Saturday the 27th as we put out flags on the veterans' graves. That'll be at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning out at the cemetery. The VFW, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and any other volunteers who want to come out and help us out, you're more than welcome. On Monday the 29th, of course, is Memorial Day. We'll be having our annual ceremony out at the Veterans Monument. Everybody's invited to attend, of course, and that will be starting at 11 a.m. Kicks off the summer on Monday, June the 5th, the Romulus Garden Club Speaker Series, Designing Landscapes with Native Plants. That will be 6:30 p.m. at the Romulus Public Library. On Wednesday, June the 7th, the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast will be at the Rack. Check-in will be at 7:30 a.m. Program is at 8 a.m. On Wednesday, June the 14th, the Romulus Farmers Market opens up for another year at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that is going to change venues this year. It's going from over by the court. It's going to go back to its original site at the Historical Park. Friday, June 16th, the Romulus Rotary Golf Outing Fundraiser, and we need all the help we can get with that, and we appreciate everybody that's helped us out in the past because, as we all know, Romulus Rotary is a very community-minded organization and does a lot of good things throughout the community. We'll start off also on Friday, June 6th with our movie in the park, and it'll be Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and that'll be at dusk at the Historical Park. The Historical Society Flea Markets, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Historical Park on June the 17th. Also on June the 17th, the Summer Reading Kickoff event at the Romulus Public Library at 10 a.m. On Friday, June the 23rd, will be the kickoff for the Sounds in Downtown, 7 o'clock at the Historical Park, as we have another very, very popular series coming up for the next few months there. Wednesday, June 28th, the Comerica Bank Grand Reopening, 11:30 a.m. Thursday, the 29th, Romulus Fireworks at dusk over by Elmer Johnson Park behind Wick Middle School. Friday, July 14th, the Chamber Baseball trip will be going down to Comerica Park to see the Tigers take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Friday, July 21st through Sunday, July 23rd will be the APA Festival at the Coleman Center. And on Saturday, August the 5th, Sunday, August the 6th, the first annual Romulus Relay for Life, which will be held behind the Senior Center. And it'll be a 24-hour event and a very, very big cause there. So thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Mr. Chairman, one other request I did come from the Green family. They asked for a council resolution, and I'll also do a proclamation. And this lady, Miss Gibson, was a teacher at Beverly Elementary for quite a few years. They are having at the Inkster Recreation Complex on July 22nd at noon. It's a Saturday. They're having like a tribute to her for all her accomplishments and the impact she's made on young people over the years. So I would ask that City Council please do a resolution for Vera F. Gibson.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, for a resolution for Ms. Gibson. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Now, I do have some 3 items for action. The first one up is A. What you have is a request, recommendation that came from Tim Keys, Economic Development Director, and this is to extend bid 0405-26. This is the Merriman Road 2017 maintenance season, and it's W.H. Cannon. The amount's $45,500 for 1 year. Funds have been verified and come from the Merriman Road Special Assessment District account. And I believe they've had the same price since it started, so it's a local business. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for Merriman Road 2017 maintenance season for W.H. Cannon.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo, and this is for the Merriman Road 2017 maintenance season. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, and motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next item is a recommendation that came through Kevin Kraus, Deputy Fire Chief and Legal Counsel, and it's to concur with the administration, adopt the attached resolution for the implementation of a new Romulus Fire Department cadet program as outlined in the attached cadet booklet and proposed resolution.
So move for the cadet program, and I have a couple questions.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut, and this is for the Romulus Fire Department Cadet Program. Discussion. Mr. Wadsworth.
Mayor, if I can go to Kevin, is this going to be comprised of 16 and 17-year-olds that are going to go to Schoolcraft College also?
It is. So this program is actually a three-way partnership between the City of Romulus Schools, Schoolcraft Community College, and then the Romulus Fire Department. There's an obscure state law on the books that says you can't start training to become a firefighter until you're 18 years old unless you're adopted as a cadet and sponsored through a fire department. So this program will allow us to create a cadet program and then sponsor local Romulus school kids to enroll in dual enrollment with Schoolcraft Community College. So ultimately, as a junior or senior, if the student qualifies, could go to Schoolcraft Community College and upon graduation have both his high school diploma and then also his certification as a firefighter.
Okay,
So this evening with me I do have Liam Carroll, who is the Director of Fire Technology at Schoolcraft Community College, and probably could clarify a lot of the questions
So
for you.
they're going to be going to Schoolcraft also while they're in high school, and when they get done there, they'll be hireable as a fireman?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. So this is just one of the many mechanisms we're looking at for recruitment, kind of, sponsoring our own local kids that are coming through high school and giving them the opportunity. This is a great way for the fire department also to support these students that have interest in fire technology, whether it's with books or just giving them time, one-on-one time with some of the firefighters in the firehouse to work on skills that they're going to need when they go to,
But
classes
at
at
being
school.
at the age of 16 and 17, they wouldn't be responding on trucks to fire.
No. Yeah, if you read the program,
I went
the whole
through it.
cadet program's in there. It's basically giving them the opportunity to have some one-on-one time in the station with the guys. It gives us the opportunity. We can help them with some of the costs by giving them some older turnout gear for the actual class, uniforms. We can reach out to some of the local organizations, whether it be Rotary or some of the other ones, to help cover the cost of some of the books and stuff as well.
I think it's an excellent program. Thank you.
John.
Yes, Ms. Abdo.
Kevin, isn't this a program that's already in place in some other school districts and other cities?
So I'm gonna let Liam
been
speak to that
successful,
because
yeah.
he's been the one regionally working on this.
Good evening, thank you.
Yeah, hi.
To answer your question through the chair, yes, it is in place in other places. This is a pilot program in the area, though. It took me a long time to figure out the laws on the books with the state of Michigan that were from 1966, and it is now up and running. You may have read about it in Belleville and through Van Buren. They have student zero. They have the first student. He's actually already enrolled. He has a student ID. He's 16 years old and still in high school. A number of other communities in the area that I'm doing this pilot program with have students that are coming our way. And it is a way to not necessarily fill your rosters, but to promote within your own communities a program that benefits them. One thing that the deputy chief didn't mention was they also get 20 credit hours towards their associate's degree. It's almost a third of their degree by going through this program.
Sounds like a great program.
One question.
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
So, along with their firefighter training, does this cover their EMS training also?
As of right now, it does not. So we're hoping that the EMS program at Schoolcraft will come on board with this when we can show, that we're having success with it. And ultimately, if they do come on board, you could go through one of the programs as a junior, one of the programs as a senior, and potentially come out with maybe your EMT and fire certification along with your diploma. So it would be tough. There'd be a select, few students that would qualify for it. But if we get them on board after the fire portion is successful, it could definitely expand.
But this would also get them way into their training anyways, and then they can take their EMS afterwards.
Correct.
But I mean, that's a full load right there.
It puts them roughly a year ahead of schedule.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it's a great program. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. There's a motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut.
John, I have another comment.
Another comment?
I'm sorry. Kevin, you might want to make contact with Ms. Barden, who is going to be working with the seniors next year. It just seems like a natural. Okay, thanks.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Abdo. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. The last item up for action that's before you is just a budget amendment, and this is a request to concur with the administration for introduction of budget amendment 16/17-25. That's to increase the revenues on the corresponding administrative fees for Acumed cost recovery services. This has no effect on fund balance.
Chair, I'll make that motion for budget amendment 16/17-25 for general fund.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo. This is for the budget amendment 16/17-25, general fund. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor.
6A1 is the clerk's report. The first item is a second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 16/17-24, State Forfeiture Fund. And this was introduced at the council meeting of May 8th, 2017.
So move for second reading and final adoption of budget amendment 16/17-24 State Forfeiture Fund.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo for second reading, final adoption, budget amendment 16/17-24, State Forfeiture Fund. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A2, DPW Director Roberto Scapitici is requesting a 15-minute study session with City Council on June the 12th at 6:45 PM to discuss the DUWA amendment to finance levy, and the date and time requested is available for the study session.
So move for the study session request from the DPW Director for June 12th at 6:45 PM.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe for the study session request from our DPW Director for June 12th, 2017 at 6:45. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
6A3 is second reading and final adoption of RZ 217-002, Project Mercury Zoning Map Amendment, rezoning. And
Mr.
that,
Chair.
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
Go ahead, Barbara, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to read the, I'm sorry, the full motion to approve the second reading and approval of the rezoning map amendment, special land use, and the conditional rezoning agreement as attached for 84.7 acres of property legally described as set forth in the conditional rezoning agreement, which includes portions of parcels 80-038-99-001-000, and also 80-038-99-0002-701, and the final one, 80-038-99-0004-703, from RC Regional Center to M1 Light Industrial with administrative review and approval of the final site plan. This was introduced at the council meeting of May 8th.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Ms. Roscoe.
I'll make the motion for second reading, final adoption of RZ-2017-002, Project Mercury, zoning map amendment rezoning.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, and this is for the second reading, final adoption of RZ 2017-002, Project Mercury zoning map amendment rezoning. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A4, the city clerk is submitting for approval the proposed 2017-18 City of Romulus fee schedule, and the following departments have proposed changes: the Animal Control Department, Building Department, the Clerk's Office, Planning Department, Ordinance Department, and the Treasurer's Office. If approved, the fee schedule would become effective July 1st, 2017.
So moved for the 2017-18 City of Romulus proposed fee schedule.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo. This is for the 2017-18 City of Romulus proposed fee schedule. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A5, for first reading, is an ordinance to repeal Chapter 60, Taxi Cab Transportation Network Company and Vehicles for Hire of the City of Romulus Code of Ordinances. If approved, this ordinance will be brought back to council for second reading at the next council meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion
Okay,
for introduction of first reading of an ordinance to repeal Chapter 60, Taxi Cab Transportation, Network Company, and Vehicles for Hire.
Support.
motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo. For introduction of first reading of an ordinance to repeal Chapter 60, Taxi Cab Transportation Network Company and Vehicles for Hire. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A6 is an ordinance amending introduction of an ordinance amending Chapter 46, Peddlers and Solicitors, Article 4, Divisions 1 and 2, Sections 46-178 of the Romulus Code of Ordinances.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion
Okay.
for introduction, first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 46, Peddlers and Solicitors, Article 4, Divisions 1 and 2, Sections 46 through 178.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Kraut, for introduction of first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 46, Peddlers and Solicitors, Article 4, Division 1 and 2, Sections 46 through 178. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A7 is for first reading, introduction of an ordinance amending Chapter 30, licensing of the Romulus Code of Ordinances.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 30 in licensing.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, and this is for introduction and first reading of an ordinance amending Chapter 30 licensing. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Before I close out the clerk's report, I just wanted to announce that the free citywide yard sale last weekend is considered a rainout. So there will be another free citywide yard sale, and that will be on Thursday, June the 1st through Sunday, June the 4th. And that concludes the clerk's report, and 6B is the treasurer's report.
Thank you. Good evening, council, mayor, deputy clerk, and audience. I have 2 items to cover under my report tonight. The first one that I wanted to cover is the investment performance review. There was a study session earlier, and I'm going to review some of that, but I will keep it brief. It's important to note that the packet that is provided to council, also available to the public, it's got a lot of good information in it. What's required is in there, as well as some additional information that's good review. But I do want to share with you from the investment report the things that I do have to cover. The treasurer shall provide Romulus City Council and the Finance Department quarterly investment reports, which provide a clear picture of the status of the current investment portfolio. Schedules in the quarterly report shall include the following: a listing of individual securities held at the end of the reporting period by authorized investment category, average life and final maturity of all investments listed, the yield, par value and market value, percentage of the portfolio requested by each investment category, and credit ratings. And the report does contain all that information. The benchmark we use is Merrill Lynch. And for the Romulus investment account for this current quarter was 0.28%, and the Merrill Lynch was 0.22%, so that's a difference of 0.06%, so we are in the right direction. The investment earnings for this quarter were $56,798.70. I know the interest rate has been growing, so we are moving in the right direction, and so that's awesome. Secondly, I would like to cover, I attended the Advanced Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association. That was May 8th through the 10th. It's a great conference. I get to speak with other treasurers and see what works for their community, what doesn't work, discuss ways to improve customer service and things that are working in the treasurer's office. So I really appreciate the education, and I thank council for allowing me to go. Some of the topics that we covered, which was very interesting, was conflict management and employee motivation. That was with Dr. Shireen McHenry. That was the 5 languages, love languages. It was very interesting. And customer service is very important to me and to my department, and so that was very helpful with that. Human resources and social media, record retention, setting up and benefiting from e-commerce systems, municipal finance in Michigan, how to fix a broken system. That was with Tony McGeaney. We listened to him before, and he's such a great speaker, a lot of great information. So again, I really value the education part of it because I know it helps me develop better skills for Romulus and for the people that live here. So thank you. I appreciate that. And that is it for my report.
Thank you.
7 is public comment, and this is the portion of the council meeting where the audience may address city council. If you would like to speak, please raise your hand, and when recognized by the chair, approach the podium and state your name and address. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes. And if council does need to address your comments, they will do so under number 8 on the agenda, unfinished business. We have no written requests this evening.
Comments from the audience, Ms. Lemon?
Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to say a few words about Linda and her husband. I have known Linda since she worked with Leonard Fulmer. She is just a gracious, wonderful individual. Ken was the kindest, gentle person. I talked to him on Thursday. His voice was so strong. I thought he was doing better. And I was shocked when I was called on Friday. Linda's going to have a real tough time this summer because August 24th would have been her 60th anniversary. So we're going to be there to support her. And I told her today there's a lot of us little old ladies out here that are alone, and we'll stick together. So all our thoughts and prayers are for Linda. Okay, on cemetery committee, like Dennis said, Saturday morning flags will be placed in the cemetery. And I have to thank Kathy Abdo and her husband Mike and Sheldon Chandler, who came on Friday and helped get the fence along Shook Road all cleaned up so the cemetery is ready for Memorial Day weekend. And it's going to be beautiful this year with the flags. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lemon. Any other comments from the audience? Yes, Ms. Regina? Gina?
Good evening, Mayor and Council, residents of Romulus. I'm Gina Wilson Stewart, 10748 West Jefferson, River Rouge. And I just wanted to bring you greetings from the Western Wayne County NAACP and let you guys know that we are moving and growing. And I've been president since January, and our membership has already increased over 25%. So we have had a good turnout on all the projects that we're working on, and I just wanted to briefly give you a couple of the updates so you can come and participate with us. Our meetings are held the second Monday of each month, and our next one is June 12th. It will be held at Christian Faith Ministries Church, 27500 Marquette, and that's in Garden City. As you know, the Western Wayne branch, we have 23 cities, so we have to move things around. On June 24th, we will hold our public screening and discussion of the documentary, The 13th. It's about the mass incarceration system, and we have a panel discussion where we're going to talk about things to make it better so that so many people won't go to prison, and to encourage people to get involved in their communities. We also have been reaching out so people can attend council meetings, and it's actually going pretty good. We've targeted 14 of the cities that we are affiliated with, and we've gotten good feedback from each city. We have reactivated our youth branch, which we didn't have for the last couple years. So any youth that's up to 18 years old that would like to be involved in civil rights or at least learn how to be more of an impact in their cities, they're more than willing to come and join with us. So that is about it. I do invite everyone out to our meeting. And we have membership applications. They're only $30 for a year. So anybody who would like to become a member of the NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, you can see me after the meeting, or you can follow us on Facebook at Western Wayne County NAACP. And that's it.
Thank you, Gina. Any other comments from the audience? If there's no other comments from the audience, we'll close that part out.
8 is unfinished business. 9 is new business. 10 is communication.
Yes, I have a communication here. This is from Romulus Historical Society. Their annual flea market is Saturday, June the 17th. And this is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Romulus Historical Park, which is located on 11147 Hunt Street here in Romulus. If you have any questions, you can call Kathy Morse at area code 734-941-6361. Again, 734-941-6361. Thank you.
11 is warrant 17-10.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to pay warrant 17-10 in the following amounts. General Fund, $88,037.31. Major Street Fund, $1,986.78. Local Street Fund, $2,794.98. Cable TV, $489. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $6,643.61. Street Lighting Fund, $44,924.18. Oakwood SAD, $859.27. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $81,522.35. CDBG, $2,600.49. 911 Service Fund, $40.01. Law Enforcement, $39.96. NARC forfeiture for the state, $36.01. Library Fund, $12,324.48. DDA, $3,400.33. Water and Sewer Fund, $399,719.45. Motor Vehicle, $101,626.48. Technology Services, $1,868.52. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $188,786.48. Property and Liability Self-Insurance, $11,744.90. The Revolving Fund, $6,399. Payroll Fund, $88,702.57, for a grand total of $1,045,546.16.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Kraut, to pay warrant number 17-10 for $1,045,546.16. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 17-10 will be paid.
12 is adjournment.
So move to adjourn.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Abdo for adjournment. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.